Good evening. On behalf of the Pinelands Regional School District, our Board of Education, our Superintendent, Dr. Melissa McCooley, our administration, faculty, and staff, we welcome you to the Class of 2018 Senior Awards Night. This evening would not be possible without my outstanding guidance team. I would like to personally thank Mrs. Ramirez, Mrs. Heineman, Mrs. Mooney, Mrs. Koya, and Mrs. Railman for all of their dedication. And we will begin our scholarships. Our first scholarship is the Seroptimus International of Long Beach Island Scholarship. We have two of them. Is presented by Mrs. Marianne Green. The first, unfortunately, is in the amount of $1,000, but unfortunately, Nancy Scapetti is unable to attend. The second, Nicole Babcock, in the amount of $500. We have two scholarships, the amount of $500 each. The presenter is Mrs. Marla Heineman, and our winners are Susan Grelick and Sean O'Rourke. The American Association of University Women's Barnegat Light Area Scholarship in the amount of $250, presented by Mrs. Jerry Riffle, and our winner is Tara Staines. The American Legion Post 493 Ladies Auxiliary Scholarship, presented by Ms. Colleen Soroka, the president. Our first winner in the amount of $1,500 is Madison Hawkins. Our next two winners in the amount of $500 are Ian Medford and Leanne Yu. The American Legion Post 493 Scholarship, presented by Commander Andy Jackson and Mr. Max Soralik. The first recipient in the amount of $1,500 is Brianna Soralik. Our next three winners in the amount of $500 each for the American Legion Post are Vincent Grosso, Allison Hart, and Rachel Stano. The American Legion Riders Post 493 Scholarship in the amount of $500 is presented by Mr. Wayne Walker, the president, and the winner is Laura Melchione. The Sons of the American Legion Post 493 scholarship in the amount of $1,500 presented by Commander Mr. Ken Sauer, and that winner is Alora Miller. The Applebee's Restaurant Scholarship in the amount of $250 presented by Mrs. Kristen Mooney, and our winner is Michael Maisto. The Atlantic County 4-H Club Scholarship in the amount of $700 presented by Mrs. Marla Heineman, and our winner is Allison Hart. The Bass River Elementary PTO Scholarship in the amount of $500 presented by Angie Taylor. And our winner is Jade Rhodes. The Brian T. Keller Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 presented by Mrs. Daphne Keller. And our winner this evening is Kristen Bond. The Carol Hoey Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 presented by Carol's son, Ron Hoey Sr. And our recipient is Garrett Reynolds. The Kathy Peach Memorial Scholarship, sponsored by the Little Egg Harbor PTO in the amount of $500, presented by our PTO President, Jody Platty, and Vice President, Nicole Martin, and our winner is Brianna Getty. The Chris Richmond Family Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500, presented by Mrs. Marla Heineman, and the winner is Kyle Erzinger. The Chris Richmond Memorial Scholarship, sponsored by Cedar Run Orthodontists in the amount of $500, presented by Mrs. Marla Heineman, and our winner is Sandra Hand. The Church of the Holy Spirit, the Reverend Morris and Elizabeth Holsizer Memorial Scholarship. We have 3 of them in the amount of $250 each. We are presenting tonight are Louise Wagner and Evie Brown. We have the 3 recipients are Tyler Brown, Zen St. John Terry, and Jillian Williams. The Class of 2018 Scholarship, we have 3 of them in the amount of 5 at $500 each, presented by Mrs. Sarah Irvin, and our winners this evening are Julia Gimbel, James Harrison, being accepted by his sister Sadie Sweet, Leah McGettigan, Samia Tariq, and Carol Waldron. The Class of 2019, presented by Mrs. Irvin as well. Our winner is Drew Camacho. The Class of 2020, in the amount of $250, presented by Mrs. Irvin. Our winner is Michael Shoemaker. The David C. McVeigh Memorial Wrestling Scholarship. We have 2 of them in the amount of $500 each, and they are presented by the McVeigh family. Our winners this evening, Jacob Mina and Chris Milano. The Deborah Ann Gettle Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $2,000 presented by Miss Gettle's sister, Mrs. Rose Anderson, and our winner is Brianna Soralik. The Diane Lee Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $1,000 presented by Diane's husband, Alan, and daughter, Emily Marizek, the winner. Susan Grelick. The Dylan Baker Memorial Wrestling Scholarship in the amount of $500. It is being presented by Dylan's mom, Miss Kim Baker. And our winner this evening is Christopher Milano. The Dorothy J. Mercurio Memorial Scholarship, we have 2 at $250 each, presented by Dorothy's husband, Mr. Mercurio, and son, Stephen Jr. Our winners are Tristan Culp and Jesse Rising. The Durham School Services Scholarship in the amount of $500, presented by Mrs. Marla Heineman, and our winner is Shelby Miller. The Eagleswood Education Association Scholarship in the amount of $250, presented by Mrs. Maureen Mahan, and our winner is Jillian Williams. The Eagleswood Elementary PTA Scholarship, we have 5 of them in the amount of $250, presented by Miss Isabella Farrow. Our winners are Cameron Barr, Brianna Engelhart, Rutger Hagen, Ian Medford, and Colleen Sweeney. Sorry, Colin. The Earl and Liz Sutton Scholarship. We have 5 of them in the amount of $250 each. It is presented by Mrs. Elizabeth Sutton and her daughters, Debbie Allen and Cindy Loesch. Our winners are Rose Farrell, Madison Hawkins, Madison Kay, Jacqueline Peshko, and Samia Tariq. The Elizabeth Otis Shear Foundation Scholarship. It is for $2,500 a year for 4 years, equaling $10,000. It is presented by Barbara and Alan Gerber. Pinelands has 4 winners: Jenna Johnson, Daniel O'Brien, Samia Tariq, and Jason Tabaldo. The family of Christopher Ross Kelly Memorial Scholarship. It is presented by Chris's mom, Dina Kelly, Mr. Jim DiGiulio. This amount is for $500, and the winner is Jade Rhodes. The family of Robert Sorelic Memorial Scholarship. It is presented by the Sorelic family. It is in the amount of $250, and our winner is Brianna Sorelic. The First United Methodist Women's Group Scholarship. We have 2 in the amount of $250 each, presented by Mrs. Marla Heineman. Our winners this evening are Madison Kay and Doug McClure. The Frank B. Panzone Jr. Memorial Chowder Fest Scholarship, sponsored by the Southern Ocean Chamber of Commerce. We have 2 winners in the amount of $500 each, presented by Miss Andrea Driscoll, and our winners are Vincent Grosso and Nancy Scapata. The Fred Stryker Memorial Golf Scholarships. We have 2 in the amount of $250 each, presented by Mrs. Heineman, and our winners are Ben DeFiglio and Erin Petruskas. The Friends and Family of Susan M. Stevens Memorial Scholarship, in the amount of $500 each, presented by Mrs. Heineman, and our winner is Madison Hawkins. The Garden Club of Long Beach Island, in the amount of $1,000, is presented by Mrs. Heineman, and our winner is Nicole Babcock. The Gary McCarthy Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $300, presented by Kelly and Emily Leonard. And our winner is Ian Medford. The Girl Scouts of the Jersey Shore in the amount of $450, presented by Susan Bond Masterson, and our winner is Nicole Babcock. The Gold Hawk Taekwondo Scholarship, we have two in the amount of $500 each, presented by Mr. Chris Antonucci. Our winners this evening are Brianna Getty and Zachary Reeves. The Good Shepherd Lutheran Church Good Earth Scholarship in the amount of $250 each, presented by Verge Tullis. And our winner this evening is Wayne Schwartz. The Great Bay Democratic Club Scholarship. It is in memory of Rico Galmetti in the amount of $500. It is presented by Dave Schlick and Todd Nugent. And our winner is Nicholas Rapallo. The Great Bay Rotary Club Scholarship. It is presented by School-Based Youth Services, Mrs. Karen Kenny. The first scholarship is in the amount of $1,100 to Melissa Sikora. The next, $1,000 to Katie Waldron. $700 to Emily Rule. We have two in the amount of $600 to Brittany Capriati and Jade Rhodes. And two more at $250 each, Courtney Bonneke and Jesse Rising. The Great Bay Women's Club Scholarship in the amount of $500 is presented by Mrs. Irma Chignon. Our winner this evening is Alora Miller. The Hamilton Mothers Club Scholarship in the amount of $500 presented by Cheryl Delgazo. Our winner today is Rutger Hagen. The Hard Work Scholarship. We have two in the amount of $250 presented by Mrs. Railman, and our winners today are Tristan Culp and Tina Murray. The Improved Order of Redmond. It is presented by Rick Video and J.T. Rowe. We have 6 scholarships in the amount of $500 each to the following: Cameron Barr, Madison Hawkins, Carly Janish, Paige Miller, Nicholas Rapallo, and Brianna Soralik. The next, in the amount of $750, Jacqueline Peshko. And in the amount of $1,000, Brianna Getty. The Improved Order of Redmond Degree of Pocahontas, Tessin Wee Scholarship Council number 1, we have 2 in the amount of $250 presented by Colleen Soroka. And our winners are Carly Janish and Jacqueline Peshko. The Improved Order of Redmond, in memory of Robert Sorolick, we have 2 of them in the amount of $500 presented by the Sorolick family. Our winners this evening, Justin Malchione and Brianna Sorolick. The Italian American Social Club of Little Egg Harbor, we have 4 scholarships in the amount of $250 each, presented by Richard Conrad. Our winners are Vincent Grosso, Madison Hawkins, Frank Runza, and Ashley Friedman. The James Schaefer Hertz Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $1,000, presented by Mrs. Koya. And our winner is Michael Persichetti. The Jewish Community Center of Long Beach Island Scholarship in the amount of $500, presented by Miss Jerry Riffle. And our winner is Emily Leeds. The John H. Osorio Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $250, presented by Paula Guzman Bell. And our winner is Sarah Phillips. The Kathy Martin Memorial Scholarship, we have 2 in the amount of $250, presented by Mrs. Koya. Our winners are Chelsea Ramos and Sana Tariq. The Christy Keeney Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500, presented by the Keeney family. Our winner this evening is Haley Jackson. The Law Office of Richard Kittrick Scholarship. It is in the amount of $750. It will be presented by Mr. Jim Becker. And our winner this evening is Matthew Mueller. The Lightning Sports Group Pinelands Basketball Scholarship, 2 at $250. It is presented by Jason Brees. Our 2 winners this evening are Ben DeFiglio and Erica Vada. Erica, don't go far. The South Jersey NFL Flag Football Lightning Sports Group, presented by Jason Brees. $1,000 to Erica Vada. $500 to Matthew Muller. And $250 to Tristan Culp. The Little Egg Harbor Education Association Scholarship. We have two of them in the amount of $500 each. They are presented by Nora Maloney and Sue Barata. Our winners today are Jacqueline Dunn and Liam McGettigan. The Little Egg Harbor Elementary PTO Scholarship in the amount of $500 presented by the President of the PTO, Jody Plotty, and the Vice President, Nicole Martin, and our winner is Jesse Rising. Our Little Egg Harbor Tuckerton Police Benevolent Association scholarships. We have four of them in the amount of $1,000 each, presented by the officers of the Little Egg Harbor Police Department. Our four winners are Allison Hart, Madison Hawkins, Jillian Williams, and Giovanni Hernandez. The Little Egg Harbor Tuckerton PBA Police Explorers Scholarship. We have two in the amount of $500, again presented by our officers of the Little Egg Harbor Police Department. Our winners are Vincent Grosso and Caden Sunderman. The Logan Rios Scholarship, Scholar Athlete. It's two scholarships in the amount of $250 each, presented by Mrs. Mooney. And our winners are Jesse Rising and Caden Sunderman. Kate, don't sit down. The Long Beach Township Police Scholarship, George C. Schnell Jr. Memorial. We have two in the amount of $250 each, presented by Mrs. Mooney. Our winners are Courtney Bonneke and Caden Sunderman. The Lucille Michael Bates Scholarship. We have two in the amount of $250 each, presented by Diane Brown and Karen Flynn. And our winners are Heather Lohr and Michael Smith. The Lynch Family Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $250 is presented by Mrs. Kathy Barbarata. Our winner is Katie Waldron. The Make Yourself Scholarship in the amount of $1,000 presented by Danielle Corso and Mrs. Mooney. And our winner this evening is Jillian Williams. At this time, I would like all of our veterans to please stand so we may honor those who have served our country with a round of applause. Our veterans, please stand. Our next scholarship, the Manahawkin Elks Lodge 2340 Scholarship, presented by Mr. Bruno Serwanka. We have two in the amount of $750 each, and our winners are Haley Jackson and Jason Tabaldo. The Margaret Bauer Memorial Scholarship. We have two of them in the amount of $500 each, presented by Mrs. Mooney, and our winners are Lillian Cahill and Daniel Thomas. The Matthew P. Hamill Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 each, presented by Matt's mom, Mrs. Louise Hamill, and Mrs. Mooney. And our winner is Paige Miller. The Maureen Mo Lawless Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $600, presented by her nieces, Kayla and Carolyn Paul. Our winner this evening is Madison Hawkins. The Micah Club, we have three scholarships in the amount of $1,000 each, presented by Mrs. Mooney, and our winners are Brittany Capriati, Brianna Getty, and Michael Smith, Jr. The Naples Pizzeria Scholarship, we have two in the amount of $400 each, presented by Mr. Frank Calandria, and our winners are Conchetta and Gabriella Esposito. The New Life Community Church in the amount of $500, presented by Sean McKillop and Phil Fusatola. Our winner this evening is Paige Miller. The Ocean County Caring Award, presented by Mrs. Koya in the amount of $250, is to Caden Sunderman. The Ocean County Mayor's Association Scholarship in the amount of $1,000, presented by Mrs. Mooney, to Liam McGettigan. The Ocean First Foundation Scholarship in the amount of $1,000, presented by Mrs. Heineman, to Brianna Callahan. The Osborne Island Residents Association Scholarship was for two at $250 each. These two young ladies were unable to attend, but I would like to recognize them, Ashley Friedman and Sadie Wolfrath. The Phoenix Pineland Citizenship Scholarship. It is $500 per year for 3 years for a total of $1,500, presented by Mr. Robert Woodington. and our winner is Jaden Kraft. The Phoenix Pinelands Military Scholarship, $500 per year for 3 years, Mr. Robert Woodington again, and our winner is Christopher Benya, who will be serving the United States Coast Guard. The Pinelands Boys Basketball Scholarship. It is the Peter Gary Jr. Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $300. The Gray family is here, and our winner is Caden Sunderman. The Pinelands Education Association Scholarships, presented by Mrs. Mooney. We have 5 in the amount of $1,000 to Cameron Barr, Tyler Brown, Paige Miller, Frank Runza, and Nicole Shadle. We have 3 more from the Pinelands Education Scholarships in the amount of $500 to Daniel O'Brien, Charlie Peters, and Caden Sunderman. The Pinelands Junior Wildcat Football Cheerleading Scholarships, we have 2 in the amount of $250 each, presented by Mr. Paul Lewasowitz and Mr. George Martin. Our winners are David Kohler and Christopher Lewis. The Pinelands National Junior Honor Society Scholarship, we have 2 in the amount of $250 each, presented by Heather Constantino. Our winners are Nicholas Rapallo and Brianna Soralik. The Pinelands Soccer Association Scholarship in the amount of $1,000, presented by James King. The winner is Jason Tabaldo. The Pinelands Soccer Booster Club in the amount of $250, presented by Mrs. Mooney. Our winner is Caden Sunderman. The Pinelands Regional Cat Cabaret Scholarships in the amount of $350 each, presented by Michelle Saya. For band, Charlie Peters. For drama, Jenna Johnson. Chorus is Nancy Scapati, which is unable to attend this evening. The Pinelands Regional Primo Scholarships in the amount of $500 each, presented by Miss Ellen Ward. Our winners are Daniel O'Brien and Caden Sunderman. The Pinelands Regional High School PTSO Scholarships in the amount of $400 each, presented by Mr. Greg Forge or Mrs. Mooney. Our winners, for drama, Julia Gimbel. Leadership, Daniel O'Brien. Vocational, Logan Arcalis. The Ellen Combs Memorial, Alexis Martinez. And again, we'd like to recognize Nancy Scapati, who won the Vinnie Budigaleri Memorial. The Pinelands Regional High School School-Based Scholarship in the amount of $250, presented by Karen Kenny, and the winner is Zen St. John Terry. The Pinelands Regional High School Student Services Guidance Department Scholarships presented by the counselors. For $500, Jaden Crafts. $250 to Tara Staines and Colin Sweeney. And $200 for Nick Rapallo. The Pinelands Regional High School Thespian Society Scholarships. We have 9 of them in the amount of $500. It is presented by Michelle Saya. The 9 winners are Rachel Balco, Cameron Barr, Jared Fagan, Rose Farrell, Liam McGettigan, Paige Miller, Dan O'Brien, Kara Waldron, and Leanne Yu. The Pinelands Regional High School WCAT-TV. We have 2 scholarships in the amount of $300 presented by Mrs. Brenda Dunphy, and our winners are Haley McManus and Olivia Riccardi. Our Pinelands Regional High School Yearbook, Mr. Pineland Scholarship. In the amount of $200, Dan O'Brien. In the amount of $300, Sean O'Rourke. And in the amount of $500 are Mr. Pineland's Charlie Peters. The Pinelands Regional High School Yearbook, Walsworth Yearbook Scholarship in the amount of $500, presented by Mrs. Koya, and the winner is Madison Hawkins. The Regular Republican Club of Little Egg Harbor Scholarship in the amount of $500 each. It is presented by Lisa Stevens and Blaze Sabetta. Our winners are Caitlin Trimer and Jillian Williams. The Seacrest Village Nursing Home in the amount of $500 is presented by Mrs. Donna Schwartzman, and our winner is Erin Stam. The Southern Ocean County Hospital Medical Staff Scholarship in the amount of $1,500, presented by Mrs. Koya, and the winner is Julia Klein. The Southern Ocean Medical Center Healthcare Scholarship in the amount of $1,500 presented by Mrs. Koya is Brianna Soralik. The St. Teresa's Church Scholarship in the amount of $700 presented by Mrs. Koya, and it's Brianna Hogler. The Stafford Square Merchant Association in the amount of $500 presented by Mrs. Susan Railman, and our winner this evening is Emily Hoyman. The Stafford Township Women's Club Scholarship in the amount of $700 presented by Mrs. Catherine Kelly. Our winner is Alexis Martinez. The Sunrise Bay Women's Club Scholarship in the amount of $500 presented by Miss Mary Jane Brown and Marietta Capicato. The winner is Lori Melchione. The Superintendent's Roundtable Recognition Scholarship in the amount of $500 each, presented by Mrs. Mooney and Mrs. Koya, to Jesse Rising and Caden Sunderman. The Sylvia Crook Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $1,000, presented by Mrs. Koya, to Emily Leeds. The Teddy Marousas Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $250. It is presented by Teddy's mom, Heather Marousas, and Mrs. Ellen Ward. Our winner is Mary Cardillo. The Teddy Marousas Athletic Scholarship in the amount of $500 presented by Todd Kaiser. The winner is Madison Hawkins. The Teddy Marousas Memorial Cat Project Scholarship in the amount of $500 presented by Mrs. Koya to Caden Sunderman. The Terraces at Seacrest Village in the amount of $500 presented by Miss Kelly Riley. The winner is Tina Murray. The Tuckerton Beach Association in the amount of $500 presented by Renee Gioli and Mrs. Koya. And our winner is Shelby Miller. The Tuckerton Education Association Scholarship, we have 4 in the amount of $400 each, presented by Kelly Leonard, Melissa Steele, and Jody Ventresca. Our winners this evening are David Kohler, Alora Miller, Michael Persetti, and Brianna Soralik. The Tuckerton Elementary PTA Scholarship is in the amount of $300, and we'd like to recognize the winner who is unable to attend, Nancy Scapati. The Tuckerton Historical Society Scholarship in the amount of $500. The presenter is Mrs. Heineman, and our winner is Tristan Kolb. The Tuckerton Library Association, two at $500 each, presented by Dorothy Leister. Our winner is Nicole Babcock and Nancy Scapati. The Tuckerton Lumber Company Scholarships. We have two in the amount of $500, presented by Mrs. Koya. Our winners are Lillian Cahill and Rachel Stano. The Tuckerton Masonic Lodge No. 4 Alvin Gulp Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $1,000. It is presented by Chris Fatovich and Eric Haig. Our winner is Brianna Soralik. The Tuckerton Masonic Lodge has another scholarship, the Duke Dupuy Memorial, in the amount of $1,000, and is presented to Jacqueline Peshko. The Masonic Lodge also has the Frank Kowalowski Memorial and $1,000, presented to Dylan Brees. The Stephen E. Price Scholarship, again sponsored by the Tuckerton Masonic Lodge, in the amount of $1,000, Joseph Connolly. The VFW Post, All-American William J. Stanton Scholarship. It is presented by Lenny Hart in the amount of $500, and our winner this evening is Rose Farrell. The VFW also sponsors the Benny D. Pergola Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500, and our winner is Paige Miller. Our Women's Club by the Bay Scholarship in the amount of $500, Jan Sibelka and Margaret Nolan. Our winner this evening is Jillian Williams. Our Women's Club by the Bay, Janina Faishi Scholarship, presented by Denise Hess and Pauline Johnson. Our winner is Brianna Karuba. If you don't know by now, I hope you realize that we live in one of the most generous communities in the state. At this time, please, all the donors stand so that we may give you a round of applause for your generosity. At this time, I would like to call up Commander Wesner from the United States Naval Academy. This guy.
That mean I get to make a speech?
You're the only one. No.
I wasn't sure. Normally I wear my uniform to these programs, and you'll notice that I don't have one on tonight, and there's a good reason for that. It doesn't fit me anymore. That's okay. I don't know how much you know about the Naval Academy, but the point you want to keep in mind is that we are actually training the career men and women warriors in the United States Navy and Marine Corps. And it's very difficult to get into the Naval Academy. We have about 15,000 applicants every year, and you go through a much more rigorous process that also involves, being physically adept and medically qualified. And when you get down to the final 1,250 in the brigade, you can see how competitive it is. It's a 4-year full scholarship. The person doesn't pay anything anymore. They used to make them buy a computer a couple of years ago, but now it's completely free, and it's worth approximately $300,000. Now, I'd like to read that if you don't mind. This is a certificate that I'm going to read it verbatim. The United States Naval Academy, Annapolis, Maryland. The superintendent of the United States Naval Academy takes great pleasure in recognizing with this certificate of accomplishment the selection for an offer of appointment to the United States Naval Academy class of 2022, Liam James McGettigan.
Before I turn the program over to our principal, I would like to, at this time, personally thank all the parents and guardians for all your support for our seniors. Can you please stand so our seniors can recognize all of your dedication to making this night and all of their things possible. To our parents, thank you very much. And now, Mr. Bannon.
Thank you, Mrs. Kenny. First of all, I'd like to congratulate all of tonight's award recipients. You've done amazing things here, and certainly it's great that we have so many wonderful, generous people in the community to help us to recognize your great deeds and to send you off to try to make the large expense that college is a little bit easier for you. This award I'm giving tonight is a very special award because it is the Principal's Award. So this year's recipient of the Principal's Award has proven herself to be determined to accomplish her goals and to always improve herself both in and out of the classroom. She exudes positivity, and whenever I've heard a staff member talk about the student, they always say what a pleasure she has been to have in the school. These traits are what caused her to be named this year's recipient of the Short Conference Sportsmanship Award for Pinelands. And that is why Jacqueline Peshko is the epitome of what it means to be a Wildcat to give her this award.
This concludes our program, and we welcome you to join us in the Commons for some light refreshments. Thank you all.